Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, March 30. Minister of Health and Wellness Dr. Christopher Tufton has hailed the vaccination blitz at the National Arena on March 27 as successful. Over 600 persons in the over 75-year-old age group turned out to get the first of 2 doses of the AstraZeneca vaccine. This represented 92% of the persons registered to be inoculated at the event.
The feedback from persons who have benefited have been very positive, so I'm very pleased with that. And I think the team, the health team leading the charge, supported by the JDF and the JCF, have really demonstrated what partnership is about in this national effort. So I am very comfortable with what I have seen. This was an important test case for us because we want to replicate it across the country in all parishes.
The vaccination blitz is a large-scale operation targeting up to 1,000 persons on a given day at a single site. 101-year-old Fanny Knight was the oldest to receive the vaccine at Saturday's event.
It is right because, you see, the health care requires it. And as a Christian, I'm supposed to uphold the integrity of the law.
I was so happy when I heard persons in my age group were able to get it, because I think it's very important that we should protect ourselves against the virus, because it's taking so many lives, costing the country so much. So whatever we can do to cooperate and get rid of this virus, I think we should try.
The next vaccination blitz operation is set for Saturday, April 3 at the National Arena. Persons who receive their first dose are advised to continue to observe all the COVID-19 infection prevention and control protocols. These include mask wearing, hand washing and sanitizing, and to stay 6 feet apart from other persons. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is asking persons to refrain from spreading fear among the public around the COVID-19 vaccine. Mr. Holness says this level of outward skepticism may limit take-up of the vaccine.
It is the real threat to the health of the nation is for us to have a low take-up in vaccination. The longer it takes for the country to develop immunity, it's the longer it will take for us to return to normalcy. If you want to return to your normal way of living very quickly, get vaccinated.
The Prime Minister says he was encouraged by the turnout at last weekend's vaccination blitz and is commending the healthcare team and administrative partnership among the various agencies for ensuring the island's vaccine rollout remains at a high standard. Speaking on another important matter, Prime Minister Andrew Holness is calling on citizens to take action against criminality and violent behavior. Mr. Holness argues that if more persons begin to speak out, this will make our environment less favorable for individuals to engage in these kinds of behavior.
Criminals should not feel that they can commit acts and the country is not repulsed. It is, in fact, the lack of this kind of repulsion and outrage which has emboldened criminals.
The Prime Minister's call comes in the wake of the killing of 20-year-old Canice Jackson and similar cases of other women. Mr. Holness visited the family on Saturday and gave the assurance that the police was working to bring justice and closure to the case.
The government takes this matter very seriously. We are observing the trend and we are putting in place measures to address them, especially as it relates to violence against women.
With the launch of the e-commerce national delivery system ENDS, persons are now able to access food and other products through the online delivery platform during curfew hours. The ENDS pilot project started on March 26 in Portmore and will continue until April 9 over the next 2 weekends of lockdown. This to enable the quick service industry to continue their operation during the hours of the COVID-19 curfew. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Matthew Samuda, says there are plans to have ENDS operational in other parts of the country.
The idea is that in an equitable, inclusive manner, we will connect demand and supply outside of curfew hours, or rather inside of curfew hours. Because, as we have said from the very beginning of this pandemic, our target has been to protect lives and livelihoods.
The website ends.gov.jm shows a list of registered participants. Minister Samuda says it will include a select group of supermarkets, pharmacies, gas stations, bike couriers and taxi operators. It involves the private sector organization of Jamaica PSOJ developing a registration portal to issue, revoke and manage permits for prospective businesses to operate during curfew hours. These permits will be accessible to the police force, relevant government agencies and members of the public who will be utilizing the services of businesses participating in the pilot. And finally, Governor General Sir Patrick Allen has expressed sadness at the passing of William Charles McCullough, attorney at law and husband of former Chief Justice Zela McCullough. The Governor General described Mr. McCullough as someone who remained committed to the development of his birth parish, St. Mary, through his service as a lawyer, justice of the peace and businessman. Mr. McCullough was an attorney with the firm Robinson, Phillips and Whitehorn, practicing in both St. Mary and Kingston. He was a justice of the peace for St. Mary and Notary Public. William McCullough died on Sunday, leaving his wife of over 4 decades and 3 children. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.